Good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show. Definitely not in the good mood is the market failure to retest or even break above the 1620. We also seen last Friday, which is a non-trading day because of Happy Easter. And for those of you who are still in the holiday mood, Happy Easter holiday, right? Which we will still have a Tuesday holiday in the KLSE. So today remain to be muted and pretty much what we've seen so far. But let's take a look at what we have for you this morning in our breakfast show. Definitely, if you look at the market right now, as you can see here, market is down 5 points, but the trade that we did last Friday continued to hold on, and pretty much of our Pentagon guided trading portfolio still stand on, and we have taken some profit early on, which is an update I want to share with you guys over here. And very importantly, just a quick look on the top side here, you could see the market, right, like it or not, which we will talk more, has turned red pentagon. Let's go on to what we have for you this morning in our breakfast show with SMARTRobie. Of course, today we're going to be talking about the beginner, the only trading setup that you ever need, and hopefully you know the answer, right? That is Pentagon guided. That's right. This is what we call the beginner trading setup that you ever need. And we also look at why do smart money, especially right, buying after the Pentagon guider has, or before the Pentagon guider has buy, and starting to make up to a stage 2. Now remember, Pentagon guider work in tandem with volume spread analysis, which means it does give you a possible entry to an uptrend. Of course, not all trade works, especially right now in the context of KLCI is turning red pentagon. Many of these trades, especially if you are a beginner, you want to be avoiding it. But we will also look at why do some smart money are beginning to buy RCE Cap, D-Sonic, Petron M, and Tambon too. This will be a study, especially what we talk about, the only beginner trading setup they ever need. We also talk about the last Friday that our trade Takshin is already in the money. And of course, how do we know that it really worked? What kind of probability there? Now we have what we do in here in all shows, in a lot of our courses, is to clear those doubts by trading over 100, 200 over trades of Pentagon guider, and there will be some pattern of success. Now that is why we are banking on this probability, on this good probability. Of course, there are some other advanced pattern I will always share in here, but for our beginner setup, this is the one that you ever needed in here. And also looking at our current Pentagon guided trading portfolio, current summary. And anyone can limited knowledge does this? Of course it is. That's why we are here sharing with you every Monday, every Friday in our courses in here. And how can you learn more? Continue to subscribe to our Trade VSA, Pentagon guider, SMARTRobie, and don't forget also our Telegram chart at Trade VSA Trading View. Now let's take a look at what is it all about. What is Pentagon Guider? Now Pentagon Guider is a smart money tracking system, and is actually initiated by the father of volume spread analysis, Mr. Tom Williams in here. Now Pentagon Guider enables someone to follow it much easier, like what we've seen just on top here, green to buy and red to exit. That means the market is about to turn red pentagon. And if you look up just above me in here, switching to a wider chart here, you could see upthrust, right? UT, right? You can see that UT immediately when we hit green pentagon. Guess what? The 1620 remained to be the resistance, and then the market sell off, and that's why we have a red pentagon last Friday. And again, don't forget, the S&P 500 has also turned red pentagon. That means many parts of this world and also the stock exchange, you hear it first, and then you will not able to just simply buy it. All right, there are signs of strength in here. Looking at them, current confirmed no supply, which is one of the very powerful trading screener, which we will talk shortly towards the later of our show here. Right, so smart money is definitely a way we use it to track our smart money in here, and we use volume spread analysis to look for sign of footprint in what we call sign of strength, sign of weakness. Definitely right now in the KLCI we have seen weakness coming in here. Now continue to update the fellow member trading real money, real account in here. These are the soft trade that we did. You could see LSoft has turned into minus 6% return, but the other two trades are still in the positive area, LB Aluminium and Symphony Live. Now we all know LSOF is in the tech stocks in here, and that's why definitely some of the tech stock has taken a turn. Now of course you can continue to follow all our trades by using the QR code on the side in here, and follow me on investingnote.com on the portfolio. Now right now let's talk about where we are right now. You could see from the screen just on top of me here, we have red pentagon. Now for beginners, okay, so if you are beginner, you want to stay out, right? As I said before, this is the only trading setup you ever need, right? Setup in here, all right? Now previously, we all know we have taken and followed the smart money, taken 3,000 ringgit profit. I think you all know about that trade, right? What we call Gambunda, and also Evergreen in here. And right now, the Pentagon Guide come out just timely in here. So far, we are still up in terms of 6.8% return for January to April in here, compared to KLCI of 2.11% in here. Continue to beat that market that we had, and the strategy that we use in our breakfast show consists of both day trading, which we'll do it on Friday, and today is Monday, we'll be doing the short-term trading, and one of those trades were previously done was Heptek in here. Now of course, for this episode 172, you can watch the following of our portfolio, how well we have done in here, and that will give you why we are one of the few people who does live trading with real money in here, to showcase we can definitely make money. Now let's take a look at where we are this morning, looking at the KLCI from the SMARTRobie. You can see right now, let me just circle in here, we have the red pentagon. So the red pentagon, two things is generally going to be happening. Let me just get back, I press the button here. Okay, two things will definitely be happening. You can see we normally get red pentagon, the market will sort of move sideways a bit here, and we have 1 2 3 4 5, and today is also down 5 points. So we have been down for 5 days. So that tells you we will probably get 1 or 2 rebound, but the trend you can see here, this, all right, 1 2 3 times also cannot break. So generally when 3 times cannot break, you can draw your lines here, and this market start to break, and that's why what we're seeing last Friday. So this market is likely to retest back here. Possibility we might just go through a sideways market, right? As we've seen, foreign funds continue to lift this market. And how do we know that? You can always go on to SMARTRobie, check out the foreign funds living in here under the Trade VSA, or go over to the Trade VSA website and you check it out in here. So right now we could see market down 5 days. Possibility there'll be a retrace maybe on Wednesday, because Tuesday, remember, it's a holiday in here, but it doesn't look very, very good. You can see, right, market has been range bound, other than the nice pickup that we have, which is a big sell-out that we saw in January. This was the market in here, still hovering above the this level here, 1580 is a very good support, and you have this 1620 is a resistance. So keep in mind for those two things here. All right. Now early on we talked about some of the green pentagon. Now remember, right, beginner, you might want to stay up with it, but for those of you who are experienced trader, there's a couple of trades that set up, and it came through our let me just bring it up in here, through our pentagon guider. You can see right at the just move on to the bigger chart. You can see right at the bottom of pentagon guider, hit that one, and you have a list of stocks in here that we have. So the first one we're going to be looking at is RC Capital, which continued to be a bit bullish. So what we have here was the reaccumulation. You can see the market reaccumulation, and we got here what we call that very low volume, right? What we want to see this low volume, and then we have the green pentagon and volumes coming in and then breaking out in here, right? Since then, I think it's going to retest back this morning here. So let's take a look at where is the market this morning. Okay, at the, what stock are we talking about here? RCE Cap. So RC Capital in here continued to make higher. Switching back to a daily chart, you could see this market is up 0.5%. Okay, 0.5% in here, and all those are tall tale signs about it. It will likely to retest back the old high, which is around 195. Okay, that could be another area of potential profit taking. Okay, profit taking here. Now remember, only those of you who have experience, you want to take on this green pentagon in here, right? Assist, it has broken higher. Let's move on to the next potential trade idea. Now this is a D-Sonic. Take note of it. D-Sonic is always been what we call the GE15 kind of trade. GE15 kind of theme in here. So what we have right now is again the test here, the sign of strength. And then we have the line change followed by line change. What we don't like is this huge volume. All right, huge volume. Be careful. Okay, you always need to be careful when you see huge volume. But over this side, this is pretty good. We have that low volume accumulation. Right, market retest back the old high. And why we say this is a legitimate trade is because of taking out of the upthrust. You can, so many of these upthrusts been taken out, like this one taken out, and that market seems to be moving higher. Again, for the experienced trader, this is one shot. Let's take a look at where is this morning for D-Sonic. Now, of course, those of you who have trades that you want me to look at, feel free and pencil those in on the comment chart in here, and do share and give me a thumbs up. All right, for the live FB that we're doing in here, and share that in your timeline. You can see D-Sonic again, partly being the general election counter in here. Still a lot of in here. So you, for experienced trader, you really want to switch on to hourly chart. That's why you want to subscribe to our plug-in real time in here. You can see the hourly, you can switch to a 15-minute. That will give you the kind of edge that you normally don't see. And together with our green pentagon in here, red pentagon, you could see hourly chart, right, which is still a very nice. See, when it first broke out this green pentagon, that was somewhere around the 47 cents and started to move up in here. So this will give you, bear in mind, the edge that you needed in here. If you want to trade some of these stocks, especially on the background, what we talk about, the KLCI being very bearish in here. So this is one of those trade here. Okay, let's move on to the next. Right, is check this one out. It's called Tambun. Okay, now Tambun, let's take a look at Tambun here on the stocks, switching to a wider chart, and you all can see, right, Tambun. Where is Tambun? Tambun is from Robie FA, and you can go on to Robie FA here, click the center, mid-center Robie FA. You could see right now RC Capital, Chinwell, and Amada, those are moving up nicely. And this Tambun is item number 2. Okay, 5191. Click on that one, 5191. And you can see, go over. I want to share with you is the stock fundamentals. Now look at these stocks in here. Stock fundamentals wise, you could see this one does pay a dividend of 2.86. It is a property stocks, but remember it's a small cap. It's only about 300 million here. PE of 6 times with the ROE at 8, that giving it a potential good returns in terms of FA. That's why it's rated high, because generally when the FA is high, when you have the PE, low PE in here. All right, if they do evaluate this, there is a potential this could go to 120 right now. But you can see from the top here, we have the massive volume already coming in here. Let's take a look at the stocks right now. The end also paying 2.86 dividend. So switching to the wider chart, and let me just check this out for you in here. So what we are looking in here is again what we call this low volume in here before this surge, and that's a nice one. Typically when you see low volume in here, market moves up, right? You can see market will break up and continue to carry on. So we got NS. This NS didn't work out, and you can see market break back down. There was a nice shakeout here. This is what we call the kind of shakeout. Okay, after SOS, right? And market continue to break higher in here. Volume again, climatic volume. So climatic volume in here, be assured that profit taking is on the way. Good thing is the railway track here, you can see this is the two railway track continuing to move upwards. Let's take a look this morning. Where is Tambun? So Tambun really opened up at 90 cents, still up 0.5% in here on the backdrop of a weaker KLCI in here. Remember, every time when you have this climatic volume in here, experienced trader, Take note of it, okay? Take note of it. Having said that, no doubt this is a pentagon guider, but it has moved up way up in here. So this is really more of a mid stage 2 kind of shares, continue to push up higher in here. But having said that, experienced trader, this is one of the trades that you want to pay notice of, all right, with the 5.8 ratings in here, all right. So those are the free stocks. And let me just go on some of talking about the beginner traded setup. After all, we did say the title this morning, the only beginner traded setup. Now, earlier on, in our last episode that we talked about was Patron M. I believe this was 1 week. We will do what we call before. Okay? And then we'll do one after. Okay? So let's examine in here. So what we've seen is a lot of sign of strength here. We can see test. We got UT. Take out the UT that denotes the India. Hasn't done green pentagon yet, right? Then the volume comes in here. You can see again, same pattern that we talked about earlier, like Takshin earlier. Same pattern we talked about D-Sonic in here, right? So those are the things you want to watch out for. And then next thing, voila, the stocks, right? Green pentagon came in here, a little bit of volume, a little bit of pullback, a little bit of volume, and you can see upthrust. So if they take out this upthrust, experienced trader, what does that mean? Right? Beginner trader, of course, you want to stay out first because the KLCI is actually in the red pentagon. But that's why you want to be an experienced trader. In order to do that, that's where you want to get more skill, more knowledge, continue to watch us, engage, and practice paper trading, back testing. Those are things that we really recommend to many people. So when you take out that upthrust, this market has a lot of potential. So you can see before and after, right? This market seems to be moving up. Let's take a look at this morning. Where is Patron M? Okay, Patron M. Yes, holding up this level in here, unchanged at 4 ringgit 79 cents in here. From the green pentagon, if the opening 470 up to now, we are in the money about 2%. But also it's okay because this is not a penny stocks. So generally, the kind of move that they do will not be very significant. You can see the last big move from the bottom to the peak was 21%. So right now it's about 10% in here. Possible a retest back to $5.10. We will come back and re-examine this in our later episode in here. But take note of this chart. You can snapshot it, re-watch it, or for those of you who is watching on YouTube, this would be a very good tutorial looking at before and after, all right? So for those of you who are experienced trader, check out our VSA 360 NS screener, which have 81% success rate, much higher than the industrial standard in here. And one of those is because we are buying at the very low risk and the high potential of volume really coming in. NS, confirm no supply, or sometimes we just call it as NS. It's one of the screener in our VSA 360. And then we want to allow 20 days, right? 20 days, about 1 month. Or 20 trading days, or typically 1 month in here. And in this example, weighing back on 16th of March, you are winning 22 out of 27. So what that means is that our screener will do the heavy lifting for you. And this is something we've been advocating many of our members. Stocks that you pick up, stocks that you trade, stocks trade idea that you look at, it has to come from a screener because we want to iron out those people who mislead the public, the smart money, especially those of you who continue to listen what we call tips here and there. And remember, you will one day fall into the trap of the smart money. So that's why we use the VSA 360 to track and look for those smart money, which we talked about earlier, right? The smart money earlier, moving on the left hand side of the screen, and our screener were able to pick it up in here, and the evidence is here. 22 out of 27. Of course, Heptek being one of the biggest winner in here, 27%, 17%, and 17%. Of course, some of these stocks will go higher or go lower as the day, and that's why if you look above here and here, this is up to the 14th of April, which is really last Friday. And tonight we'll get updated. So definitely VSA 360 is something that you want to have that edge. Now, again, if you don't have that edge, how are you going to compete with the smart money. Now remember, the smart money is not there to give you money, right? You want to make them, you better follow them. Follow green pentagon. And right now, if you are a beginner, stay out because it's red pentagon. So the short lessons, just like we talk about the NS in here, wait for the green pentagon to appear. Beginner criteria, you want to enter the next day on the opening, and you still want to select trade ideas in here. Little bit of size, and of course, if you have a bit of experience, make sure the stocks that you have align with what we call, let me just share with you, switching to a wider chart, the hot sector. You go onto the main menu here, and you can see right at the bottom right side, hot sector, hit that one, and that would tell you what are the hot sector: constructions, logistic, industrial, plantation, and energy. So if you were to pick some of those stocks, these are the one. And of course, Petron M, what sector is it in? Energy, right? So that's what it's moving, isn't it? And previously, when we taken profit, Gamunda, what was it? It is construction. And Evergreen, what? And we made a nice 20% on that one, a 1,400 ringgit from roughly about $7,000 trade. A nice one, isn't it? That should cover a lot of the costs and investment going to acquiring tools like this. And again, what are those in here? It is under industrial product, which is number 3 here. So this is again what we say, that whatever stocks you want to pick, make sure you align with the sector, because you have that wave. Can you see that wave? This is what we talk about it. Now, when you go to the beach, you see those waves. What is the first thing that you think of? Beautiful day. But remember, think about the energy that goes into this wave. And of course, we all know this energy of the waves is caused by the moon gravitational pull, which is part and parcel of a day-to-day life. And these are the rules that we cannot fight for. So when you want to trade those shares, make sure your Pentagon just appeared, and then the next day. Not after the Pentagon appeared like 20 days or 30 days ago. Then you start to go in. And that's what we want to say here. We want to clear any of those doubts that you have about Pentagon and about beginner trading module. And the only way to do this is actually to do a lot of those trades, beginner trades in here. Follow the smart money, follow the green Pentagon. And when the red Pentagon is here, beginner, you want to stay out. And Pentagon guided trading portfolio, which what we call the PGTG, you want to stay out too in here. All right, keep that in mind. So the last live trade that we did was Takshin. You could see here green Pentagon, and we went in on the about 61.5 cents. And we are setting maybe around 63 cents if you can get out. It was a good no supply SOS, and it's one of those advanced feature in our VSA 360, which we hope enable you to profit a couple of hundred ringgit every day, just like a fish concept in here, and something we will do on every Friday 10:15 in here. Just an update. Let's take a look at where is Takshin right now, which is steel. We all know the steel stocks are moving very nicely, right? The steel stocks, all right, like PNB Tech, Press Metal, those are moving up nicely. Let's take a look at where is Takshin this morning in here. So you can see it's up at 62 cents. Okay, still nice one in there. And 63 and a half cents. We want to be getting out on that stocks. Very short, 3 to 4% profit taking in here. Remember, this is an intraday trade, right? Intraday trade. Okay, now remember the Pentagon guided criteria for filtering these shares. Okay, very simple. You want to set up a target profit for those of you using SMARTRobie at R1 or R2. And one of the things that you can look at, let's give the example of Petron M. Okay, Petron M here. And we want to look at the trading plan. Okay, so you look, hit Petron M, you want to look at the trading plan. And you could see R1. 485. Okay, 485, and so 485 you can see there on the chart, and also at 510. 485 is only about 1%, which I do believe right now. Looking at it, Petron M, $5.15. Okay, $5.15 will be a better one. You get a bit more meat. Now 485 is already there. Okay, 480. Yeah, we already actually hit 485 already. So we already hit that. Now we are looking at 515, which is, yeah, this level in here, the old high. Let's see if energy sectors is likely to move higher. Then we'll see this likely to move and retest back the old high. Now also take note, right? We want to have the moving average, what we call the railway track. So let's take a look at the Petron M here. The railway track is still very nice. Okay, so we can see this railway track are moving up at this level in here. Up bar, close and higher. And let's take a look if do we have volume increasing. Now the volume is decreasing in here, so we have to be very, very careful. If the market cannot break higher, and you can see this volume in here, then we are likely to see this market making a U-turn. Because you have this so-called upthrust here, and the takeout of the upthrust 485. So right now the resistance is at 485 already. All right. So let's do, and remember, you got to do a lot of this real trade in here, just like what Ravinder Singh has put in. I think he may have followed me on Heptek, and again, you have a lot of doubts, no doubt about it. And this is one of the things that why we say it's important you do a lot of back testing over 200 trades. Remember, when the market is good, when the market KLCI is blue trend zone, which is right now it's not. So the winning rates is going to be low, and that's why I always hear time and time again for people who want to follow trades, who want to piggyback trade, but has a lot of doubt. What they can do is probably they can only follow a couple, about 3 or 4 trades, not conclusive enough. That's why we want to have evidence of many trades, 200 trades and 100 trades in here. So that's why, as you said before, especially in this market in here, when market are not trending, it's going to be real challenge, both psychologically, which we will address immediately after that with a very special international coach. All right. So to ensure that you have high win rate, you want to stay out for red pentagon for KLCI market. And that also explains why we want to talk about when we review Ravinder in here. These kind of trades in here will be a real struggle. Because why? The KLCI is already turned red pentagon in here. Okay. Now, the Heptek, let's take a look at Heptek, which is what we wanted to update. Heptek now is down 3% here when we last enter. Let's take a look at Heptek. And it's important when you enter, you want to enter at the opening prices. All right. Now, Heptek is more of a hardware store kind of thing. So we enter here. 4.5, then we have a sell-off here, about 3%. It's holding up. You got a test in here. So that tells you probably have a support in here. And it's still very early stages, as I said before. You don't see that, what we call the railway track. Railway track is still down. So this one will have a month. And generally, we want to hold it for 20 days. Okay. So 20 days, we get it in on 6th of April. And by 7th of April, which is May, all right, that will be our expiration date. Now, of course, we want to check out the, let's take a look at the trading plan for Heptek. Okay, stock start, stock comment. All right, no, let's go to the trading plan in here. And of course, a better way to look at it, you can also look at the chart. You got 47.5 cents and 55 cents for 20. So 475 will be this level in here, which is nice. Yeah, 475 is the level that we're looking for. And, it will be a bit of, taking out the 465. We don't get any much volume coming in here. You can see this test here. The market has no interest to go lower. As the market actually opens higher in here today, stay above, which is 1.1%. That means it's not too bad. It's hanging on. Of course, you want to, where is the stop loss? Okay, so again, stop loss is important. Never alter. So you look at exit strategy, and you could see R1 475. You got 42 and 41. So 42 is the level. That's the level we want to cut loss. Very important. Very important. So I hope what we shared here has and take note, this is from the hot sectors. Tied to the hot sector it's from the SMARTRobie too. So you can look at Heptek, which is stock fundamentals. And interesting enough, it is also one of the RHB jewel small cap stock for 2021. That doesn't mean you want to be holding it too, right? Just because it is a stock that's why sometimes when you don't have a plan, you tend to listen here and someone will say something because of not having a trading plan. So right, again, very important, you have a trading plan. Like for me, we will use the SMARTRobie. We will know, 42 cents is our cut loss point, and our expiration date will be 20 days, which is about 7th of April. We want to be exiting in here. Now, if you look at this stock, it's rated 5 out of 10 for the PE of 3 in here, having a ROE of 18 times, which further, of course, you can also go on to the 4-year chart. Click on the 4-year chart here. You can see we want to look at the trend. So that's one of the beauty in here. You can see on a quarterly basis, yes, that explains why the stocks are coming down, because of the margins, which is really dropping. You can see 17% dropping into the 8%, and that's why that stock really, came off from it in here. And hopefully you're able to retain back. If you look back from the annual part, they're still holding up at 15%. Net income are growing, okay, and cash flows are not too bad. All right, check it out using the TradingView financial growth, the only financial tab menu that you ever needed, aligned with the trading purposes in here. And of course, for the trade that we were going to do taxing earlier on in here. Today, we didn't do any trade, as I said before, to demonstrate to the beginners, especially today's show was a beginner, is because of our red pentagon. So when red pentagon, we want to stay out. But if you are an experienced trader, we did talk about D-Sonic. We did talk about the other one. We're going to get down to it, just the next slide here, okay? And this is one of the testimonial from one of our very happy user in here. He could not believe that the Malaysian stock market could be that easy. He was a skeptic, like many people, but the simple yet methodical rule-based trading strategy was possible with the Trade 60 plugin, and also with the SMARTRobie. Congratulations with team, allowed newbie to continue in here. And last but not least, these are the few things we always talk about. Wait for the green pentagon, wait for the volume, wait for the retest, which we talk about the 1620 resistance level to break if it's going to go up. And we're going to trade with a trend. So right now, if you can see, Heptek don't have any trend. It will continue to move sideways, and we're giving it about another 2 more weeks for that trend to come in. Just like the wave. Remember, we talk about the wave, right? Where there are sometimes when the weather is a bit peaceful, you don't have that kind of wave. So when there's no wave, you don't want to be in the market. And very important is every trade has risk, every trade has reward. So when you hit that reward, example, if we do ever get to 47.5 cents for Heptek, we want to be out. Have a plan, trade with a stop loss, target, and control your emotion. So when it comes to controlling the emotion, there's something I'm going to share with you. So just now we were talking about those shares, the only trading setup they ever need. We talk about RCE cap, that's right? If you're an experienced trader, RCE cap, D-Sonic, Tambun, those are the few things you want to be looking at in here. And again, we focus on clearing doubts. Time and time again, the only way to clear those doubts in here is to do lots of trade, lots of paper trading, 200 trades, hundreds over trade in here. That would justify whether someone says something that you want to believe in here, because there are some fixed pattern that work. Can anybody do it? Of course, right? You just need a plan and diligent to do it in here. And those of you who are following in here, how can you learn more? And this is one way you can really sign up for our program in here. We updated it as low as 2 ringgit per market per day. You can get our plugin, and for our combo plan in here, which we are doing at 588 right now, we have additional. Just go over to our website under plan and pricing, you can get that. And definitely we have a new syllabus that comes in is Dr. Gary Dayton, trader, speaker, author, and trading popular, which is a fellow speaker in the Trader Expo, and he came out with a very good book called Trade Mindfully, how to achieve optimum trading performance with mindfulness. And he actually shared that in the podcast, in a Better System Trader in here, episode 27, how mindfulness can improve trading performance. It is a peak performer strategist in here and able to put you in the winning spot. I think we all want to be winner, isn't it? So the question is, do we plan for that, right? Remember, success don't just drop out from the sky, although many of us hope that, but like it or not, the way to plan it is definitely getting engaged, knowing what Dr. Gary In will be teaching us. So this coming May 20th, our 3-day masterclass, sign up in here, our renowned psychologist trading in here. So for special price of 4,888, right, there will be him leading for 3 trading psychology session from June to August. So this is really what we call a whole wholesomeness approach to the market, not just leaving you in here going through, separating you if you are amateur from the professional. Take this opportunity right now. You see it and you want to become the trader that you always want to be, overcoming the psychology. We talk about the emotion that so living a mastery in here. And right now, okay, we're coming to the stock review in here. So if you have not given us a Google review, just go over to the SMARTRobie. Many of the tools that we use in here are SMARTRobie tools. And if you have any Google review or stocks, just pencil those in there. I'll be happy to look at them right now. Now remember, take note, the KLCI, it's already turned red pentagon. The longer term stocks, I believe it is still functional to still use it here. Do let me know what are the stocks you have that you want me to look at. I'll be happy to look at them. Okay, if there is no more stock review or stock to be reviewed, thank you for coming. And don't forget, on this coming Wednesday, a very special event, guest host, one of our trade VSA Turtle trader who made 20% in 2 months, and she will be joining us as a guest host, guest speaker on the 20th of April, which is this coming Wednesday at 9:30. So make sure you join us then. I'll see you on Wednesday. Thank you for coming and have a nice trading day. Bye-bye.